Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Arawak Priestess here. I made a post a while back ago that I was going to speak my truth, that I was tired of being silenced. Okay, I was tired of being silenced and feeling like I am not able to speak my mind. And that is a terrible feeling when I'm supposedly living in a country where we have the right to free speech. Okay, this is exactly what I said 6 days ago. We live in a time where people want to silence marginalized people. I won't be silent for it. I'm going to make a video today and I'm going to speak my truth. I'm tired of people in places of privilege coming after me for speaking out against cultural appropriation. I've made this video multiple times because of how angry I was at the time of posting that comment. This video will not be monetized because I want to be able to speak plainly and clearly and deliver my message in a way that is transparent and clear so that no one tries to dilute or twist my words. I have for a long time risked the growth of my channel because I refuse to conform to this notion that if you speak out against things that you're passionate about, you will get shadow banned on social media, which has happened to me. It is the reason why people have been getting unsubscribed from my channel. Not notified when I make new videos. There's people that have actually told me, I thought you stopped making content years ago. I haven't seen your content in years. Because when you speak out on social issues, there are those people that constantly report one's platform with the objective of having you deplatformed. There's people that are threatened by marginalized people that willingly speak their truth. In a time where people are trying to use political correctness against marginalized people. Okay? Instead of using it on the people that are in positions of privilege that use their platforms for racist rhetoric, misinformation, and causing rifts, causing fighting, divide and conquer mentality. Those people still have platforms. Those people are not shadow banned. And that's why I understand when there are people that don't want to talk about certain issues because they're afraid of losing their platform. My platform is how I advertise my business. My platform is how I share my path. It's how I make money because I have a website and I'm a full-time reader and spiritualist. So when I make these types of videos, I am risking my very livelihood. That is what I'm doing. But there are things in life and there comes a time where you want to be in the right side of history. I will always speak against cultural appropriation. I made a comment 3 years ago uplifting a content creator while at the same time letting them know that unintentionally they said something that could be hurtful to a closed tradition practitioner like myself who's part of a marginalized group. This content creator was like, I didn't know, thank you for educating me, and we had a beautiful exchange. The day that I posted this comment was the straw that broke the camel's back, because I have not really been making videos like I used to about certain issues because of all the backlash. Yes, I get support, but I also get a lot of backlash. And I notice like in recent videos when I'm talking about social issues, a lot of people private message me, but they're not really putting comments in the comment section. And that makes me feel alone sometimes. So for my mental health, I took a break about making certain types of content on my channel, which literally was the whole reason why I made my channel. I wanted to talk about the uncomfortable while still sharing my spiritual path, because I'm an outspoken person. That's who I am. But sometimes doing that can take a toll on your mental health, especially when you feel like your own community sometimes is not supporting you. You have no idea how much a like and a comment in the comment section, even if it's a heart, that's all you can put. makes a content creator like myself, who's literally risking their platform speaking about certain issues that most content creators do not speak about, how much that gives you the strength to continue going, right? Supporting me, being a member, buying my services, making comments, liking, subscribing, sharing my videos. Those are all ways that you can support me making this type of content, so I can continue to be someone who speaks out against injustices. Okay, this person literally went into a whole tirade and pretty much tried to say that I'm a reverse racist. I am not a reverse racist person, and the fact that you thought it was cute to say that pretty much accused me of it, and I was able to factually retort, and this person stopped speaking in the comment section because they kept going through not only this video but other videos and other content creators that I talked about certain things, and continued to try to harass me until I decided to confront this person and they left me alone. I think it's pathetic that people feel they have the freedom to be openly racist in a community that's supposed to be spiritual and literally try to make people like me be silenced by falsely accusing us of being racist. When I made my video about voting for Kamala Harris, okay, I had people literally try to intimidate me into taking down that video, saying that I did not care about my brothers and sisters in the Middle East, which is a lie. I care about all marginalized people. But I'm not going to close my eyes to the danger that's happening in America. If we allow the MAGA people to distract us and suppress the votes of marginalized people, he will win another 4 years. He promised to be a dictator on day one of his presidency. Him and J.D. Vance, I don't care who he's married to, are openly racist and misogynistic. There are women dying because of the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Whether you are pro-choice or pro-life, this is something that affects all women and people who have uteruses. Because the reason why the overturning of Roe versus Wade is so dangerous, whether you support abortion or not, people are going to have this procedure. It is better for people to do it in the safety of a doctor's office than go back to the times when people were using hangers and dead bodies upon dead bodies of women dying. Because there are women that cannot have children in certain situations. That might be a way a woman might get out of domestic violence. Having another child could mean financial burdens where they may not be able to take care of a child. There are women or people that can that might become pregnant, right? That may not have the mental capacity to raise a child, okay? And then when the child is born, they cause harm to said child. There are people that just cannot have children. And also, this overturning of Roe versus Wade affects people getting a C and D now, because they consider that not being able to do that. You have women walking around with dead fetuses in their womb, becoming septic and dying. And this ruling is affecting the poorest of women that cannot afford to go to different states where abortion is readily available. So it's causing women to die. Single mothers, women who are disenfranchised, who are poor, black and brown bodies as well. This is affecting our community. We cannot allow this dictator to go back into power. The 4 years that he was president, he is the reason why we have inflation. It is not the Biden administration. It is the MAGA administration. We had a good economy when President Obama left office and gave power to former President Donald Trump. Because he had such a lackluster response to the pandemic, hundreds of thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people passed away because he refused to close. He refused to admit that there was a pandemic. He was giving people weird advice, talking over doctors. Dr. Fauci was literally threatened every day of his life because he was being attacked by Donald Trump supporters, the lies that this man was passing during his presidency. Did we forget that the nurses and the medical staff were not receiving protective clothing? PPE was scarce. Because of him, we went into an economy that wasn't as bad, that was so bad. Unemployment surged during the time of the Great Depression. He made us go into a Great Depression when it came to having to shut down small businesses, hundreds of thousands, because he was only supporting mega corporation, giving tax cuts to his friends. Those are all factual things. These are not opinions. These are facts. He is the reason why everything's inflated. It doesn't matter what President Biden does. He inherited a mess. We were still in the middle of the pandemic. I don't even like Biden, but he did help us out of the pandemic. He did. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it honest. He helped us out of the pandemic when he had all those places where you can get the shots and the vaccines. Okay? Former President Donald Trump is responsible for the huge unemployment, the crime that was happening. He also made racism great again, where people can literally say whatever they want because there's good people on both sides. He is a 34 convicted felon. He was convicted of sexual assault, SA. How in any God-given earth can a person like this actually seek out the highest office? It makes no sense. He is responsible for the January 6th rioters. Yes, he is. He incites violence. He incites prejudice. He incites racism. He incites misogyny. He is trying to be a dictator. He is in the hands of Russia. Let's be honest and real. Let's keep it real. Some people don't want to vote for Kamala because of the fact that she's a woman and she is a brown woman and the daughter of immigrants. Let's keep it real. They'd rather see the world burn in flames than vote for a woman, especially a brown woman. We saw it when Hillary went against Donald Trump. They actually had him when this man literally went on a pulpit and made fun of a disabled man with cerebral palsy. He does not care about women or brown people or marginalized people or gay people. He doesn't care about children. He cares about tax breaks and not going to jail. I am someone who was never political on my channel, but this is an emergency. This is a state of emergency. We have to show up. We have to show out. We have to vote. If you've never voted, register to vote. This election is about once and for all showing Donald Trump that he can't. That marginalized people are going to unite and vote against him. This man sat on an election. This man sat on an election and literally said that my Haitian people eat cats and dogs and continue to stand down on it and stand 10 toes down. This man went to a military cemetery site and allowed his people to push the military official that said you cannot take pictures here. He has disrespected veterans. He has called Latinos criminals, okay? He doesn't like black people. He doesn't. He literally made people think that he was giving those stimulus checks. No, Congress has to vote for that. The only reason we got stimulus checks is because he put our economy and the stock market into crisis. We do not need 4 years of that. We need an effective president. And if we don't like Kamala, we could vote her out. Trump is trying to take our ability of voting. Don't be distracted by the few brown people and the black people that are endorsing him. A lot of them are in his pocket. Not all skin folk is kinfolk. We know that throughout our tumultuous history, there were women when we were doing the Women's Suffrage Act, when we were doing the Women's Civil Rights Movement, there were women that were speaking out against a woman's right to vote. There's always going to be ops in every movement. When we were trying to fight to end slavery in the Civil War, okay, what happened? You had people within our own black and brown community thinking that slavery was a good option. We literally have a man that he endorses that says he wants to bring back slavery and calls himself something that I can't say on here because I don't want nobody to report my channel. Like, he literally is racist against himself. Yes, and he is a brown black man. So we're going to have people like that in our community. Don't be distracted by the media trying to tell you that he has all this black and brown support that he does not or have, okay? There are plenty of Latinos that don't like him. There are more Latinos that don't like him that like him. There's more black and brown people that dislike him than like him. It doesn't matter who these celebrities are endorsing on either side. Let's not distract ourselves. Let's keep our eyes on the prize and try to make sure that we are securing our democracy. Because he literally wants to make it where only the left, right, white, nationalist, Christian groups comes into power. And what's going to happen is we're going to lose our freedom of religion. For those of you that don't identify as a all-right, cisgender, male, white Christian, your religion's in danger. Your form of Christianity, paganism, witchcraft, santeria, Ifa, yes, all those things are in danger. You think he's going to allow you to practice those things? You think he's going to allow you to sell things online? No, your businesses are in jeopardy. You practitioners that are trying to get mentored and go into ATRs, all those things are up on the ballot. You're right. Maybe you don't want to have kids, but your children's right, your grandchildren's right, or even just women in general, okay? Or people that have uteruses in general. Your right to identify how you want, to marry who you love, is in jeopardy. Your right to make a living is in jeopardy. Taxes will go up by $4,000 a year. That is just some of Project 2025. The work camps that are going to happen. IVF is going to be considered something you can't do. And so many other things. He has been trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He's trying to get rid of us having health insurance. He's trying to tax the working class so that his 1%, the elites, can continue to control everything in this world. Okay, that is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, and the whole topic was inspired by me saying that I will always stand 10 toes down on kosher appropriation. And the reason is because people in privileged situations and privileged places like to sit here and say, oh yeah, the black and brown gods and goddesses and spirits and orishas and ancestors come to me, yet you have never once spoken out against the oppression of my people. You have never once stood 10 toes down in social activism and standing up for people. And for all my beautiful Muslim brothers and sisters, I understand that neither one of the candidates are giving favorable positions when it comes to the war in the Middle East. Neither one of them are giving favorable conditions when it comes to the oppression of my Puerto Rican and Haitian people either. So I understand. I'm literally voting for the less of two evils because I'm seeing the bigger picture. Remember that Donald Trump actually made a Islam band. He does not want people of different faiths in this country. He is the worst thing that can happen to brown and black bodies. He is the worst thing that can happen. He does not want us. Not voting is not an option. I will always say free Palestine. I will always say free Puerto Rico. I will always say free Haiti. I will always say free the Congo. I will always stand with Niger. I will always stand with my African brothers and sisters wanting to take imperialist and European powers out of the country so that Africa could be for Africans and then they could make their wealth because they are rich in resources. So is Haiti. Haiti is actually rich in resources and plutonium. Why do you think that we have these powers that try to keep our people poor? But let me tell you something. Not voting is not an option because if we allow a dictator to get into office, we'll never have the right to vote out someone that we're not enchanted with. So please, this November, vote. Exercise your right to vote. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and so many of our activists fought for us to be treated equally. Whether it's separate and equal or united and equal, whatever your personal belief is, we have to show out for the ancestors. We have to show out for the ancestors. We need to vote. We need to light those candles. We need to light those candles, but you also need to do the work in the real world. When the Haitians fought for their revolutions, they did their spiritual work, but they also were willing to risk their bodies, to fight for a revolution. And this is what we need to do. We need to fight for this revolution. We need to decolonize our governments. We need to contact our officials, and we need to exercise our right to vote. Voting is what's going to make the difference. Not just the president. We need to vote on the local elections, your judges, the commissioners of the police, deputies. We need to vote for who's going to run the school districts. We need to vote for Congress. Congress makes laws. The Senate, okay? We need to vote for all these things. Exercise your right to vote. You literally have ancestors that died for you to have the right to vote. We need to continue to move forward as a nation and show the world and show the United States of America that colonialism, racism and sexism and misogyny has no place in the fabric of America. Let's actually make America great. Make America great by not allowing this dictator to get into office in November 2025. Don't let him get into office, in January of 2025. Do not allow him to get into office. Vote, vote, vote. Next month, we are able to speak our truth on that day. I pray for all of us. Much love, much light, and much blessings. And may the ancestors always guide you. I am always going to be solidarity for all marginalized people fighting for their freedom, because I do not believe that people should take the lands away from people that rightfully belong to them. I love every single human being, and I'm always going to love every single human being. Do not let MAGA distract you and make you feel like you're a bad person for voting. We are voting for our very democracy so we can continue to fight these fights against getting people off lands. Okay, I support everybody. I support everybody. I pray for peace between the Jewish and the Muslim people. I pray for peace in the Middle East. I pray for peace in America. I pray for the ending of police brutality. I pray for the indigenous people in all parts of the diaspora, my black and brown people. I pray for you. I pray for all of us. But we also need to get out of our thoughts and prayers and energies and lighting candles. That's all great and beautiful. We also need to exercise our choice to vote. So I stand with her. I stand with Kamala Harris. I stand with her. And I wanted to make that known on my channel. And you can have whatever belief you have. I'm not hating on you. You have the right to vote for who you vote for. But I'm letting you know where I stand. Hopefully this video will be allowed to be uploaded and it can stay on my channel and they don't take it down. But please like, please subscribe, and please share this video. That is what I wanted to talk about. This is why I will never support cultural appropriation. Our ancestors did too much in order to practice our religions. And when people in privileged places try to take and gentrify our religion is what freed us from slavery. Okay? Our religion is what continues to make our people strong. Why do you think those supremacists want to talk bad about our religion? Why do you think those attacks on the Haitian people is about? Because they want to demonize voodoo. Because they know that voodoo was what freed us against white supremacy, enslavement. And why do you think they continue to drag Haiti and Africa down? Because that's the homeland. That's where Ifa comes from. Stay awake, brothers and sisters, and humankind. Do not allow supremacy to win. Do your spiritual part, but also do the mundane part. Fight for our freedom. The revolution will not be televised, guys. Much love, much light, much blessing.